No, that's not true. And you know this.
Shut up, cheeseburgers! Stop it!
No. He knows.
That's how it is. Here we go. Hi. Once upon a groove on an old soul tune. I watch the pin move to shape the breakthrough. Who makes moves, maneuver in the right direction? The rest of you get left behind and messed up in the session. I'm not trying to make a difference. Maybe some pocket change. I'm content with
welcome to Drunkcast, everybody.
Hey!
Yeah.
Hello. Episode 161. It is, what day is it? It's January 9th. It's Powerball Day. I'm Travis.
I am Dylan.
And we're a podcast that likes to have some drinks around friends and talk about the things that have happened in the week, no matter how ugly it gets. We like to have some interesting people on the show with us. We have Adam McWaters.
Cheers.
An excellent gentleman, really into beers, really into comics, kind of likes his son.
Pretty awesome.
Definitely likes his wife.
She's good.
Yeah.
She's rad.
She's pretty rad. And across from me, we have Dylan Canfield coming back from the show.
Hey.
He is, if you listened to the episode before, he's the guy who was very quiet until he said really funny, smart things. So we're hoping that he'll open his mouth a lot more because he's very funny and very smart.
It'll take booze.
Well, you have booze in front of you.
You came to the right place.
And to that, actually, let's cheers up, guys.
Welcome to the party, Kyle.
Yay. Oh, there's cedar in it.
A little extra cedar on mine, little sprinkles.
I hate to tell you guys, but I'm actually made of cedar right now. So
That would explain things.
yeah.
So we can't stand to be near you.
My blood is so slow right now.
There are no allergies in Colorado, right? Is there any cedar in Colorado?
There's no cedar in Colorado.
Sweet. Cool. So, yes, as I say, it's Powerball Day.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this and you won, you're not listening to this.
Please give us $1 million apiece.
Yeah, and we'll talk about anything you want. We will change the format of the show entirely.
We'll just talk about you the whole time.
Sure.
we will support the presidential nominee you want.
Yes. Well,
Not for $1 million.
To an extent.
at least on the show. I think that's fair.
Not for real.
I don't know.
Obviously. Nothing's real.
Good, nothing is real.
On the radio.
$900 million as far as I saw today. And I'd like to talk a little bit more of that later in the show. But first, Dylan Canfield, what have you been up to, dude?
Yeah, Dylan.
I have been working. I went through a 2-week drunken haze with Christmas and New Year's.
Yay!
Yeah.
That was kind of intense. Not a whole lot.
Yeah, that was tough.
The
I was
American
I
standard.
was with you half of those times.
Yes.
And it was literally like Santa brought me a bunch of hangovers is what happened for Christmas.
If I wake up at your house, I know it was a good night.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Ladies. Listen. Yeah, so Christmas and New Year's, and I mean, we kind of spent all those times with you.
We did.
But anything notable that happened with your amounts of time off? Because this is a new job. How long have you been working at DocuSign?
Documation.
Documation. Well, I was trying to make up a new name. So you.
DocuSign's an online company that you can use to
Yeah, that's right.
sign things.
I think it's been about 4 months.
Only 4. Okay.
Maybe 5.
Okay.
Time is not my best concept.
Especially when you're drunk all the time.
I know. Everything happened just the other day.
It was weird too because you said for a good couple of decades you were a bike messenger.
Yeah.
How much time off did you get as a bike messenger? How many days were like? I mean, you have your major blackout days, like I'm sure like Christmas Day, any day that a law firm is closed or the government building. But like, how many other days did you actually get off?
I was a legal messenger, so I got every legal holiday off,
Right.
which was nice.
Right.
But as far as weather, Seattle and Portland, I rode my bike through the snow many times.
Uphill both ways.
Sure.
Uphill, in the wind.
Did you ever put little chains on your tires?
No.
You ever think about it?
I thought about doing the thing where you put little screws, like you make your own studded tire.
That's probably...
But I never tried it.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing.
Could that work?
It always seemed to me like you would just probably give
Ruin a
yourself
tire.
a flat tire.
Yeah, like
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's literally what a flat tire is putting a screw through your tire. Yeah, yeah. It has to be like those Gators
was there
gel tires that don't like never go flat or something, like or metal
That
tires
exists.
like penny farthing tires or whatever. Like,
Was there ever a time where you were like in the snow on your bike at an intersection, you get to go again and you're just pedaling and just staying in the same place?
Scooby-Doo style?
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo style?
Not quite like that, but there was definitely, you'd start to go and then you would just fall over.
Spraying passers-by with slush.
And then it was funny moving to Austin and being a bike messenger here. The town shuts down at 38 degrees.
Yes.
oh yeah, yeah,
No one comes into work.
yeah. Because currently it's what it's
Because it might get
it's
down to
upside
32, and then it might get
It
wet
just might.
and then it might freeze.
It's 44 right now, so we're six degrees away from a riot in Austin.
We're almost there.
Yeah. We're hoping. But it was nice having time off, right? Like,
It was.
Yeah.
For the most part, I don't take many vacations.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I know. We have that.
And Adam, how I saw you last week.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You're still great, right?
Basically the same.
Basically. You guys are gearing up for Faire, right?
We are.
When does that start?
Well, move-in weekend is the end of this month.
Okay.
I think it's on the 22nd. But that's not the first day. The first day's sometime in February.
So, for those who don't know, Adam is part of you guys call yourself clans, right?
Yes.
It's the Sherwood Renaissance Festival that happens basically right outside of Austin, not that far away. And this one's kind of
Around
unique.
Bastrop.
Is it unique, actually? I don't know. I haven't heard of any other Renaissance festivals where you can basically pay year-round to have a fixed space in which you can always camp, where you can put up small units of
Right.
things and block some stuff off, and you have your own fucking porta potty, which is great.
We buy that.
You buy that, yeah.
Rent it, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is great.
Is that unique to Sherwood? Does that
don't-
exist anywhere else?
I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
I'm not like TRF,
Texas Ren Fair Festival.
the Disneyland of Renaissance festivals in Texas,
Yeah.
and Scarborough
Scarborough
are-
Fields, is that what it's called?
Scarborough
Fair.
Fair.
Forever.
Those are the only other two like major ones that are in
Texas,
this
yeah.
area or in Texas in general. I don't know. El Paso's still in Texas, but who wants to go there for anything? And I don't know if they have like the whole clan sort of scenario of perma-camping. I know they have shitloads of camping all the
course.
time,
Yeah.
every weekend.
They all have camping.
Well, most of those things are only like one weekend or for like a week, right? But this is
No,
Sherwood's different.
they actually stagger. Any Renaissance festival usually lasts anywhere from like 6 to 8 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they find the chunk, and
I was not under that impression.
it looks like they kind of offset themselves too, so they don't directly compete with each other,
Right. Yeah. If Sherwood,
which is really nice, actually.
If Sherwood wanted to be open during like the October-November,
yeah,
nobody would go there because that's when TRF
because
is
TRF
going.
is open. Yeah.
Um,
And that's the big one, right? That's bigger than Scarborough.
way
Fair.
bigger. Yeah. They're sponsored by Budweiser.
They sure the fuck are.
They're humongous. They're humongous, and they've been around for a very long time. They have way more permanent stuff set up. But as far as the camping goes, every time I've been out to the camp areas there, it just seemed like a bunch of people camping. Like RVs and tents and things, but nobody's really like
That's just where all the fucking happens.
all the terrible,
meth.
All
disgusting,
the terrible fucking
just
gross.
nerds wearing out their knees.
Yeah.
Awful.
It's like 35. It's like there's a bunch of fires, and the fire pits, and then just 35 guys
until
to every-
A&M
to every girl.
fucked up,
And then one girl takes her tits off, and everyone's like, "Woo, it's the best part of my life." And they're like, "Let's go next year." Like, okay, yeah,
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 took her tits right off,
Yeah,
right,
right off.
right off. Yeah,
which was novel.
yeah.
But it's a little more organized, I think, in the Sherwood scene, just because there's a lot of clans. They all camp in the same area.
No,
We
so
have to
yeah,
take care of that area.
You guys are in a clan. Your clan has a basic permanent fixture.
Yeah, we have an area,
You have like a long house.
Same spot.
and if we wind up like getting more people to join, and they're paying in to stuff
You get to
and
cut
whatnot,
more trees down.
we get to expand the land, and we talk to the owners and say, okay, well, we need to take this and we need this cleared out and these things, and they come help us do that
Yeah.
with their big machines.
Are there several clans that are of your size and or larger?
We are a very small clan.
Really?
There are smaller,
There's some fucking big ones there.
but there are some fucking massive ones.
That
And-
are also permanent fixtures?
yeah. That's always like we can't put up. They put a kibosh on permanent structures, which really makes me sad because I wanted a longhouse really badly.
Yeah.
For two reasons: one, longhouse, fuck's sake, and two.
Yeah.
That's a really easy way to get a bunch of my friends out there every weekend to go do some manly, labor-intensive things.
yeah, I really wanted to build some shit on
Yeah, but
someone's
we
land.
can you can build a fence to fence off your area and sort of block and really establish it, because shit gets confusing when you're drunk and it's pitch
Can you
black.
leave your tents and stuff up the whole time?
On move-in weekend, what that means is we set up tents and all of that
RVs
stuff,
and-
kitchen area, whatever. Well, not RVs necessarily because those are mobile. But we just get to leave it up. So when the season starts, our shit's already there, and we get to leave it up throughout the entire season.
Nice.
6 to 8 weeks.
And were you saying there's usually somebody there all the time? Like the clan will rotate. There's always someone present.
Well, the rules will dictate things like every weekend because the actual fair is only open like Friday to Sunday,
okay.
but it's for 8 weeks, so 8 weekends basically. Every one of those weekends, there has to be at least a representative of the clan there. You can bring guests. We do that all the time. But there has to at least be one actual active member of the clan there in order to keep the space.
I call those 8 weekends the Adam blackout dates.
It's true.
Yeah.
And he disappears.
It is a struggle for me.
Yeah.
Because my heart is here.
That's right.
With you guys.
Damn right, sir. But it sounds like fun.
But a whole bunch of free booze is there. So,
Oh, yeah. Canfield, have you ever been to a Ren Fair?
I have not.
You ever interested in going to Renaissance Festival?
Not so much, but probably because I don't know much about it.
Okay. And you, Dylan?
I'm gonna go with 2 out of 2 Dylans agree with this one.
Okay.
Haven't gone. Don't care.
Not missing anything.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to come back and camping again because I.
Are you going to?
I went 2 years. Yeah. As long as it's a weekend where it's not raining like crazy, and I need some place to sleep. Like not a car. I was lucky that weekend because I was a friend of the show. I can't even remember if he's been on the show or not. His name is Josh, big tall Josh, and he had a tent and a cot, which was really nice in comparison to sleeping on the floor or sleeping in my car, for example. Mm-hmm. And I had a pretty good time, like getting wasted, finding a cot,
Well, luckily we're a pretty forward-thinking group of folks. So usually we'll always have contingency tents and things.
Contingencies.
Yes.
Contingencies.
Because a lot of people are like, I want to bring my friends. And we're like, yay, they came out last year. They're fun. Bring them.
Right.
And then, but their friends are from fucking Arkansas or something.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And, oh no, someone broke their leg or whatever and they don't show up. Like it can happen.
This story's getting really titillizing. I like
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Well,
Explore that.
that specifically was legitimately made up. On the fly right
it was
here.
hyperbolic.
That is
Okay.
one of my talents. The point is, people will say, "Oh, my friends are coming out," and they'll like on the forums that we have and whatnot that I built. They'll be like, "Oh, my friends are coming out this weekend," blah blah, and then we get there and the person's there, but their friends aren't. And we're like, "What's up?" And they're like, "Oh, they couldn't come after all because salmonella or they got eaten by piranhas."
Natural things that happen in the world, yeah.
Sure.
Especially in Arkansas. A lot of piranhas.
With salmonella, yeah.
Yeah, but they live in the trees. It's weird. Arboreal piranhas.
Drop fish. Yeah.
and they love breaking legs.
I love breaking and eating cartilage, man. Oof. Tastes good.
So, but we'll have things that we will refer to as storage tents. And those are traditionally used to store equipment
House
and
guests.
things.
or store humans, yeah.
Or in the event of we have a guest that we weren't accounting for and they need a place to sleep, they do want to stay over, they were waffling on the issue all fucking day or whatever,
Sure.
and they decided, I'm way too drunk to go anywhere, which is going to be true.
Right.
There's a cot in there and a pillow and a blanket, and you can just shove them in there with all the storage, and they can not die
Sure.
on their way home, and everybody's happy.
As long as it's not raining and as long as I could sleep in your closet, I guess, then sign me up. I'm in.
Well, and also
Right next to the beans.
at work, even if that doesn't work, a lot of people have tents that are like if it's super cold and we're only there for a weekend, but we are camping, we'll just set up the big tent and like Isaac will sleep on the cot right there beside our cots, like
That little klepto?
a little klepto. Yeah.
trust him.
So yeah, it works out. Like we can always find space for people. Like
Sure.
it's not really that difficult.
As long as it's warm enough.
Unless you're unprepared as fuck, which we aren't.
Yay. We need to take a break.
Yeah.
And we'll come back, and I want to talk about the Powerball, guys. I think it's never going to happen.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of fun.
Okay.
All right. Back.
Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break.
You ready to get pumped and buzzed?
Tripping on this deep groove. And the night's new. What a feeling, what a nice mood. A bam, boom, rock. We're here to rock you. It's like, damn, what a vibe. Woo. I got my old soul shoes tripping on this deep.
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Hey!
Segment 2, the Double Deuce. That's right. Still hanging with Don Zivo. Still hanging with Dylan, with Canfield,
and Dylan.
and Adam McWaters.
Holding hands in the double
This
deuce.
year.
Yeah.
This is Adam, his brother Dylan, his other brother Dylan.
Yeah, so a good new heart joke.
If you understand that joke, please call
412-440-7468. Yeah, so during the break we were talking a little bit about the, I'm not a person yet that has been overcome with superhero fatigue. My wonderful
I'm on
host,
record, yeah.
Dylan, is on record, pissing off Chris Lloyd at every turn.
That's right. Fuck you, buddy.
Of having
you.
the fatigue. And I understand it. I understand the fatigue for sure because it's everywhere. Like we made mention last week when Matt Lauer's on the show and he has a newborn of 4 weeks or whatever, that no matter what's going to happen, she's going to be obsessed with something Marvel, DC, or Star Wars because it's going to be so permeated that she's going to be like...
Thanks, Disney.
Yeah. Fuck.
Well, Disney owns 2 of those properties, so...
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time before they buy DC and then fucking turn that shit around. Start it all over. Anyway, but we're talking about
But Spider-Man and Fantastic Four will still never, ever work.
Not even in Lego form.
Fantastic Four will never work out.
Well, the reason why the Fantastic Four will never work out is because that the characters are still fucking super stupid. You got Stretchy Guy, Invisible Dude, Rockman, and Fire Guy.
Which is why the first one was the best one.
Sure, yeah. Well,
Because it had Chris Evans
yeah.
and just Jessica Alba, and they're both in tight clothes. What else do you want, America? Take 2 beautiful people,
I would like
put them in
a-
skin-tight clothing, and put them on screen
I would
for
like
an hour
some.
and a half.
I would like some
What
effort.
else do you want,
some
people?
effort put into the actual story and maybe the characters.
Well, then you're not watching a cartoon superhero movie anymore. So
Interested?
And I would agree. I would agree to a
I would
certain
utterly
point.
disagree with that.
I would disagree to some points too. Like there are some.
There
Like,
are some excellent comic writers, and there always have been.
yep, they're not making movies.
So what we're doing right now is we're lamenting the
Yeah.
things that we want from what is obviously a huge snow shovel worth of stuff coming our way
Yeah.
for the next 6 to 16 years
60,
of
70
movies.
years.
Like I mentioned during the break, that Iron Man 4 is in production or post-production, or like way pre-production,
Yeah,
obviously.
well, it was a, I don't know, 2-3 months ago, we actually had a conversation about that. I found some article online that actually mapped out every single Marvel release.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
going through 2025.
And someone took that and put the DC thing, and it's like basically, it feels like every 3 months something is going to come
There will
out.
be a comic movie. Yeah.
And then Star Wars is going to be every year there's going to be a new Star
Like the
Wars
next
movie.
7 or 8 years, they were
Yeah.
out.
And the nerd in me, I'm sure Adam agrees with this, the nerd in me is happy to be a nerd finally, you know? And Oswald will probably disagree with it.
Well, the geeks shall inherit the earth.
Sure, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I like,
To get to the point, what we're lamenting is the things that it should be. You know, when it all started with Jessica Jones. We all like Jessica Jones.
We do.
Canfield, did you watch Jessica Jones?
I've only watched part of one.
You only watched
Oh,
part of
well,
one.
we'll keep going.
And Daredevil? You watch Daredevil?
I don't. I tried watching Arrow because
no,
of
yeah, no,
Chris
no,
Lloyd.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Hold on.
Let's go ahead and clarify your comparison there.
I know.
And urge you to watch Daredevil and never watch Arrow again.
Yeah, they're not in the same ballpark. It's not even the same game, not the same sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not.
Lame Green Batman versus what they did with Daredevil.
Yeah.
Just that shit is good.
It is.
And Lame Green Batman
Especially
is
for,
not.
especially for you, Adam, because you were never really a big Daredevil fan, right?
I was never a huge Daredevil fan unless
I was-
Punisher was kicking his ass.
Sure. I always loved Daredevil.
Because of Ben Affleck.
Yeah,
I
but
was
now
gonna say, what
it's
about
completely
the
completely
actual
flip flop
movie?
because I super fell in love with Daredevil. It was excellent, and I'm really fucking disappointed at the upcoming Punisher.
Yeah.
Shit,
Yeah.
I don't want it.
I don't like that guy.
Because they're leaving out Thomas Jane.
Yeah, I
The
love
Punisher.
Thomas. But now, granted, Thomas Jane is currently giving me The Expanse
That's
right
right,
now,
he
which
is,
is
yeah.
a phenomenal series of books, and they're doing a fantastic job with the show.
It's
And
I'm very happy with the show.
Yes.
So Daredevil was the first in a big, long Marvel collection of Netflix shows.
Yeah, yeah.
They bought some IPs of the lesser knowns and kind of important depending on where who's writing it. Daredevil being the first one. Daredevil in the comics was like kind of always an adjacent of a Spider-Man or a Wolverine or mostly a Punisher, like in this section of a subsection of New York.
Right, because
One
if
of
you're
the
ever dealing
boroughs.
with Daredevil in the comics classically, it's either Daredevil doing stuff. Yeah, great, it's really impressive. You're blind, it can kick everyone's ass. It's wonderful. Or it's Daredevil and Elektra, which is the lamest fucking story set.
Sure. Which is why that movie and
And why they're getting a
subsequent movie-
divorce. Yeah.
Right. But after that was Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones was excellent. Jessica
It
Jones
is so awesome.
It takes place after the origin of Jessica Jones, who was originally called what? What was her real
I
name?
forget, but it was funny.
like the Diamond or the this Flash for
Something like that.
it starts in a place where she has given up the superhero world so she can become a detective, and she's a detective because she has a certain set of skills, or whatever. It's like a superpower and able to fly, I guess, or jump far, or whatever.
Jump really far.
I think
Well, she basically has amplified strength, but not like the invincibility that Luke Cage has.
Yeah.
And so
She got it by accident. He got it by experimentation, whatnot. Or like
Right.
the government.
Spoilers.
Sure. So anyway, Jessica Jones comes through, and it's one of our favorite Kristen
it's
Ritter
so
from
good, yeah.
Yes.
Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23,
Yes,
as well
she's
as some
awesome.
other things. And I fucking love the shit out of her.
Which was a great show.
It was it was a good show.
Yeah.
So she has this platform, and Dylan was telling us.
Yeah, so apparently Netflix has decided to not greenlight season 2 of like their most popular show in the past 6 months.
Yeah.
To have her play a part in the Defenders.
Yeah.
So basically
A superhero collective.
the Netflix version of the Avengers. So they're taking a very wonderful character,
Yeah.
powerful female character
Who stood very well on her own.
who
Yes.
didn't need a
And
man's
by
help.
very well, I mean with like a
Yeah.
fifth of whiskey every day and
Oh, yeah.
being a total dickhead.
Just to wake
She's
up, yeah.
wonderful.
Well, yeah, because of the problems that she had, and
Yeah.
the reason why she left the superhero.
But she's a
thing
great
behind.
character. She's a great actress, and from the perspective of a lot of different, they're basically taking her instead of saying, "We want to give you season 2, we're going to put you in a movie with 3 other superheroes
Yeah.
to make our own Netflix version of Avengers." And what pisses me off, it really is. I hate coming off the wrong way in this because we have so many people who are weird and listen to the show. The feminine aspect of it. They're taking a wonderful female character.
Yes.
She's going to be a sidekick. She's going to be a sidekick.
I mean, that might be a little reductionist.
Perhaps.
She will definitely not be.
She won't. Well, she won't have her own show.
Right.
Well, there is that. yeah,
Eventually,
so-
I mean, again, having a second season. It's the same thing they did with the movies, right? So, like, they had the origin stories of these different characters, and then they brought in Avengers, and they had the second version of that
Yeah.
secondary part of the origin story. But it is like it's very frustrating because the reason why Jessica Jones works so well, like I said before between the breaks, is that it works in a place where it's actually showing a very human aspect of what women deal with on a very, very emotional level when it comes to abusive relationships.
Oh yeah.
And how to
And also
put them
the-
aside and how to overcome their demons. And
the worst superpowers you can ever have
Yeah.
or ever
Yeah.
deal with,
Deal
which
with,
is
yeah.
brain fucklers.
Yeah.
brain fucklers.
But the
Yeah.
big part of that is, from Netflix perspective, I think they're making a huge mistake. Clearly, they're trying to chase the
The Agents of Shield thing.
They're,
and
they're
the
trying to
Avengers
chase that
thing.
formula when they don't quite. At least I don't think they quite
haven't
realize
done it yet.
They've been so successful by avoiding that formula. The reason Daredevil's so good, the reason Jessica Jones is so good, is they're not trying to throw CG. They're not trying mashups. They're trying to focus on very good storytelling, which, as we talked about a lot in the show, these comics have existed for years. There's great writing that already exists. Use that. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to put CG in it. Don't try to put flying shit falling out of the sky.
Yeah. Well,
Just let those stories be, and just let them be. They're superheroes not because they can fly or have shit fall out of their hands.
because they have shit to deal with.
they should deal with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
They have real emotional aspects of them that they develop over these seasons.
Yeah.
And it's a shame if they try to chase that dragon of, well, we just need to have a mashup and have stuff happen.
Well, and
You're missing your audience.
To your point, the CG thing is very important when it comes to the CW's version of this. They have the Arrow Flash, probably some other ones down the pike. I don't know, but they definitely have a show called The Legends of Tomorrow, which is going to be the Flash plus I think Green Arrow's sidekick plus Hawkgirl
And that fucking asshole who plays the freeze guy. who's
Mr.
terrible.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No,
yeah.
even worse. Like the guy's awful.
But because what they're trying to do and because their budget's so small, you can definitely see, like the human brain can see the Uncanny Valley, and they're throwing. It's like it's not even close to the Uncanny Valley. Like it's just a one trip down to fucking hell because it looks so bad.
Yeah.
So to your point, yes, throwing too much CG is bad, but the reason why the Daredevil and Jessica Jones have been so good is because they've had enough time and had more than an hour and a half to try to explain why a person's important.
That's true too.
And why the villain's important.
but-
that's true. Oh
the
my
way
God.
they made the Kingpin in this
yeah.
version of Daredevil.
Oh my
was-
God.
Yeah,
He went from like the lamest bad
it
guy
took
I
5
could
episodes
conceive of
before he even did anything nasty. Then when he did, holy shit!
to an incredibly in-depth, like
And-
psychopath,
and
like
a
an incredibly
woman's-
broken
Yeah.
person.
And a woman still fell in love with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he responded
No,
too,
he
and it was
loved
just
her,
it became that became
And
a whole thing. You start
actually,
caring
though, too,
about.
the Kingpin character in the
dynamic.
comics was always dressed in white. You know, he was a big white dude, big bald white dude who was dressed in white all the time. And at first, when I was watching it, I saw he was dressed in black, and I was like, all right. But then when he started dating her, and she was dressed in white the whole time, I saw that like
It paid
finally
homage,
the
yeah.
true dichotomy of what that character
Yeah,
is and what he
black
can
and
be,
black and white.
and like, oh man, just it's such simple. It's simple when you have the time to tell the story.
And you're right.
Kilgrave and Jessica
Yeah.
Jones is the same
Yeah,
way.
but you're right. I might be reactionary, but that's the thing that I think Netflix is doing so perfectly well.
Right.
I think they're going to fuck up by doing the mashup
Well,
shit.
I think if they have 10 to 12 episodes of trying to do a Defenders conversation, that it might work out. But I'm
know,
going to
there's
fall.
too many-
I'm going to fall to your cautiously pessimistic.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm gonna agree.
Oh, cheers to that.
Yeah. To finally agreeing with you.
Yeah, my inner Adam. Campbell, do you have an opinion?
Yeah.
To me, Michael Keaton is Batman.
Yes, he is. That's true.
That's-
True story. Yeah.
That's how far I am from the superhero world.
What was your favorite superhero movie of all time? If you had to pick one.
Probably, and I wish I was
Could be anything. Could
more
be-
versed on the subject, but probably one of those original X-Men movie. I used to enjoy that series. They've gone a
yeah.
little too far at this point. Yeah.
You know why? Because they keep adding people in, and having mashups, and not developing characters.
X-Men,
Right, right.
X-Men
It's
2.
because they don't have time to explain why. That's my big thing.
Yeah.
It's that they have to shove so much into it, and they look up and you say, "Holy shit, this is done." It's been 2 hours now, and it's like, but Guardians did it right. Guardians had these weird, disparate characters
yeah.
who had
They
nothing
did.
to do with each
They
other.
did. They did.
And one of them was a fucking raccoon riding a tree. You know, and they did that right because they didn't think it was serious. They didn't play it as a fucking super
You
serious
also
movie.
didn't have, to your point, to your point about the whole mashup thing, like Guardians on a societally conscious level, like on the macro scale, nobody knew who the fuck those characters were in the first place, so they didn't have this expectation. But
Yeah,
like,
good point.
I like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are both two super people who don't need super friends.
Yeah.
Why are you giving them a bunch of super friends?
Right.
Like they
Especially
like,
the way they're telling Jessica Jones' story right now.
Yeah.
yeah, we already have background on both of those characters, and they just do not mesh well, like
With people.
They have their reasons for being solo artists or whatever.
Yeah.
Right, and but they're brilliant at that. Like, I'm
Yeah.
excited about the Luke Cage
Oh man,
series.
Can't feel
like,
the way they did Luke Cage was so excellent.
Oh,
'cause
he's so
the
good.
way the action worked so well was like even Jessica Jones not being invulnerable or whatever. Like she's doing stuff, and you can see that she's putting effort into, which actually is frustrating to me because I have a theory about how much effort they put into women in action movies and how much they
There-
want them to be able to choreograph or whatever.
There was a little bit of
Like she
mismatch.
shouldn't be huffing while she's running down stairs.
Yeah,
if she
between
can,
one scene she's super powerful, and next scene you threw that guy 20 feet last time. Now
Yeah.
you're barely touching him. Yeah,
But Luke
Anyway.
Cage, like they never deviated. Like
Yeah.
a guy tries to stab him with a bottle, like a broken bottle,
breaks his-
off him, and he looks at him, and he just kind of like he just shrugs him off, and the guy flies through the air, and it's just
Yeah.
so satisfying because it's like, yeah, that guy's big and he's scary.
But it also
and
wasn't
it's foreshadowing.
Like, it also wasn't crappy CG
He's big
style.
and he's
Right,
gorgeous.
like you believed it. Like, oh yeah, this guy's super fucking strong.
because someone choreographed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and I guess that's also a problem when it comes to TV too. It's something that drives me fucking nuts. If you're a person who's ever watched House in any capacity, to a certain point, when a show gets popular enough, they start inviting other directors to direct the fucking show. And I hate that. I like the fact that people get a chance to. Like Steve Buscemi directed a couple of episodes of 30 Rock. I think that's neat. But 30 Rock's a comedy. You know, and the comedies can work very well, but the problem what happened in House, the thing that drove me fucking nuts is that sometimes their whiteboard would be clear, which why would you take the white wine? And then sometimes the lights would be out in their differential area. Like when they're trying to do their research, they turn the lights out, and that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, it's atmospheric, buddy.
Yeah, but like one director can't talk to the other one because he's like, no, this is what I want to do. No, fuck you. One guy made the thing, let the whole thing. These are not movies.
Well, there have been some that have benefited. And like Breaking Bad was predominantly guest directed.
But you could tell that there was a lot of effort into maintaining a voice to the entire thing and saying
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
well, now, I mean, like, now Hank is really good at piano just because I love fucking piano
that,
or
that's
whatever.
not a good good producer and
Yeah.
studio behind
Yes,
it, like saying
yes.
no. We have an
voice
idea
and a
for this.
vision.
We have a vision.
What?
We invite your different eye for this episode, but it's going to be in our universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
To get back to the comic and movies and TV shows thing, the reason why we wanted to talk about this in the segment is because you brought up, Dylan, up the fact that the Guardians of the Galaxy is not going to go back to
Oh
Thanos.
yeah, no, I'm not sure how valid it is, but I read this like yesterday. I think it might be rumor, it might be speculation, but the nut meat of the article was saying that the hullabaloo on the streets
Oh, sure.
is that they're not going to pursue the Thanos story. They're going to break off and just do other Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. And I encourage that because they did great. Like as we've all just said, they did a great job introducing this whole universe and these characters.
Yeah.
Fucking avoid Thanos. Avoid all that crossover.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Skip it. Do anything else.
Here's one thing I will say.
Star-Lord and Thanos had a relationship.
Right, and
Well, he's dating his daughter. Yeah.
what I daughter
That's
in,
movie, but yeah.
in quotes daughter. The thing is, Thanos is currently like he's been sort of sprinkled in a little bit at a time, more and more and more. Thanos is obviously like the big bad in across these,
Super
and he
bad.
is.
Yeah.
And what they are doing is they are trying to tell the Infinity Gauntlet story,
Right.
where Thanos becomes a really big threat.
Really.
But that still has a ways to go before that becomes relevant. So they have
2020, I think. Is
well, yeah, but yeah, according to the list
The chart,
and the
yeah.
order and the chart and the release dates, they have somewhere between now and 2025.
Yeah.
And you know what the rule?
You have plenty of room to fit a couple of fun Guardians of the Galaxies, not Thanos related movies,
And then
in
come
there.
back to Thanos.
Sure, come
and
back to
then
it.
bring them, fold them back into the mix.
and I would appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
Because I love. I'm not even going to call him by his real name. It's not Chris Pratt anymore. I love Andy Dwyer. And I
He's
think
the best.
The real Chris Pratt.
I think he's a great Star-Lord, you know, but for me as a guy who like didn't know anything about Guardians and then poured right into it, I love the idea of a guy with zero superpowers to be able to take down Thanos because he's basically like the Han Solo of the Marvel universe, you know, or like the Constantine of the. Is that Marvel or is it Dark Horse?
I think that's Dark Horse.
Like
I could
Constantine,
be
the
wrong.
character
Could be wrong.
Constantine.
I think you're correct though.
The reason that Constantine was such a threat was because he was a fucking excellent liar. He walked into a room where a bunch of demons had hostages, and he walked into the room and he said, "You know who I am. You know what I can do. You give them back, or you're going to see it in person." And all these demons, these super crazy, immortal,
Actual demons from hell.
said, "You know what? Why not?" And then
Okay.
gave it like, and he
Yeah, it is getting
bluffed
late.
his
It is
way-
getting late, guys.
Yeah, I got church in the morning, and
I'm okay right now. Thank you.
and like literally like and I like that character, and I think Star-Lord could be the perfect like Thanos is going to beat the shit out of every single character, and then something's going to happen where Star-Lord's going to come through. I hope.
Yeah, well, and I think Adam nailed it.
Pacific
I
Answer.
just want to see the next movie, the next Guardians of the Galaxy be, and then Tony Stark shows up.
Right.
No, they're so far away.
Yeah.
And that might also be the reason why you can't throw a TV
Oh,
star.
Constantine is DC.
Oh,
I was a DC. Oh, okay.
and Keanu Reeves.
Oh, well,
And that's the reason why you can't throw a television star, I think, at a movie like the guy who plays Flash in the CW. I think the reason why you can't give him movie money is that then he's going to want movie money.
He's so good.
And I think Robert Downey Jr. is perfect for Tony Stark, but I think Robert Downey Jr. is a reason why it's so hard for them to get good writers who can pay the money in order to have more people. Because I would actually love to have, like, the Civil War is coming up.
Yeah.
And all the videos
That's
I've
a
seen,
very small civil
it's
war.
a very small civil war. There's
quick
like
clarification.
there's 5 people on both sides
Because they can't afford.
because they can't afford
Can't get
anything
Robert
else.
Downey Jr.'s salary.
Because everyone else is just so rich now, you know. Adam, what's your clarification?
Quick clarification. Constantine is on DC Comics, but it's a spinoff of Vertigo's
Yes.
Hellblazer
that's what I
series
said.
created by Alan Moore.
Oh, it was Alan Moore. Holy shit.
Fuck yeah, it was. That's why that shit was great. That guy is crazy.
Alan Moore did Watchmen. The comic is much better than the movie.
Yeah, the movie's terrible.
Yeah, I
don't know.
I liked it stylistically, just like I like the first
You like
Kick-Ass.
Big Blue Penis.
Big Blue Penis
For the record, that was in the comic a lot more prevalently than it was in the movie.
No, you like Taco Bell. We need to take another break, and we'll come back, and we'll do segment 3.
Dusty breaks, bitters mix, bitter cats, split witches, liquid on a packet.
I know nothing about comics.
Fortified train, slowly sewing my name on the quilt grades. Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we breaks. Like damn, what a vibe! Woo! I got my old soul shoes tripping on his deep groove. And the next
a lot of
what I
Ricky's
feel,
feel.
what a nice
Welcome back to the show, everybody!
Yay!
Segment 3, the Fighting 3, my favorite segment of this podcast.
It's the most fighting segment.
It is the most fightingest. Oh, my Fitbit's dead. So I don't know how many
Lol.
calories I'm going to burn for this segment.
Wait, no, 12-ounce girls.
So, yes. So we have an option. If you guys are interested, this is a rare opportunity. Would you guys like to talk about what kind of dreams or wishes or things you would do with lottery winnings of 582, which will wind up being about $350 million?
Million, huh?
Or would you rather talk about Supergirl?
Canfield?
Millions and
Do it.
millions.
All right.
Anything but Supergirl.
Okay. And
Yeah, we agree.
so it's $900 million that will lead to $592 million, which will lead to, after taxes, about $350 million.
Still nothing to complain about.
There's still nothing to complain about. I have a plan. Oh, thank you so much. I have a plan in my head about what I would want to do. But as I was going to snowboarding lessons in Austin, Texas,
On AstroTurf. Yeah.
on AstroTurf on Blue AstroTurf.
the worst white guy ever.
Yeah.
But while it's snowboarding lessons in Austin, Texas.
On the way, well, that's the point. Is on the way, Ben and I had a conversation, Banjo, one of our favorites on the show, about how difficult it is to actually try to figure out what those dreams can entail if you get bored by it. So I'm curious what you guys would actually do with $350 million, tax-free.
Million, not billion. Million.
Million, yeah.
After tax, not tax-free, after tax.
After taxes. Well, to this point, it would be tax-free.
Your
because
take-home.
Take-home pay. Of
Take him pay $350 million.
Let's start with Canfield.
Yeah.
Canfield, what
He's
would
been
you
so talkative
What would you
today.
do?
I have fairly simple needs. I would basically buy 2 houses, one in Austin, one in Seattle.
Yeah, I would do the same thing, actually.
I'm not sure if I would rent them when I'm not there or just have them
wouldn't-
maintained.
You wouldn't have to. Yeah.
I do have a side dream of a personal chef. Not
Yeah.
on a full-time basis, but someone that
Every
cook-
now and again.
cooks for me.
When
So-
you've had one of those days.
Yeah.
So here's a lead-in, a lightning question. Would your personal chef be a professional, or would it be a person that you know?
A professional.
Would be professional.
Yes.
Someone from Thailand that would cook me amazing Thai food.
Thai
That is
food only?
that is not a bad idea.
I am a huge fan of Thai food.
Yeah, you are.
Well, like authentic Thai food or American Thai food?
Don't know. I've never
okay,
been there.
No, best of all, if you have that kind of crazy money,
Yeah.
$350 million, you can have 2 homes
2 homes.
and you can have 2 chefs.
Yeah, what's your second chef? Or would they both be Thailands?
They'd be the same, yeah.
Good question. I think I would just stick with the Thai food. Like I'm a fairly proficient chef myself, so
Sure,
I can cook a lot of things.
Oh, see, you'd have one house for, I want Thai food tonight, fly private jet to Seattle or wherever. And then I want to cook at home tonight. Yeah.
Okay.
That's an option.
A kitchen with 2 sinks?
Other than the houses, I would just travel basically.
Yeah.
So, and that was part of the conversation I had with Ben earlier. How much travel is too much travel? Would you get tired of it after the first 2 years?
Are you going to Australia?
Right.
Because you will get tired of travel immediately after arriving in Australia. That is a long.
Have you
fucking
gone to
flight.
Australia?
I would actually...
Ben has.
Ah.
But I know if you're like in the UK I know that's a 27-hour flight to Australia.
It's the opposite side of the country.
I understand. It's
I would-
probably a little bit less.
I would
but-
implore anyone who's listening to this right now who's going to, if you win the lottery some way, that's everyone here in Current, and anyone who's listening to this on the airwaves, to not go to Australia, at least for the first year, because the most ironic fucking situation that could happen is that you win $350 million and you get stung by a stingray to death because all of Australia wants to kill you.
It's already happened.
My
like-
brother's there right now.
And like a fucking
Well, honestly, when do we-
kangaroo snake would come out of the fucking trees and eat your brains or whatever, and then
Yeah.
you have 2 days of vacation. Like,
As a quick sidebar, when is Drunkcast
What do you
going
think?
to Australia? Because I would love to go. We met those Australians.
are you still talking to them?
Every now and again, well, if I deign to go to Facebook,
We
which
should.
has
And
been rare.
we'll find out tomorrow if we win the lottery. So
Sure.
Yeah.
But
I
anyway,
would
so-
like to do that. That would be super fun.
I'd like to do that too.
Even if it is a shit long flight.
So Canfield, there'll be 2 houses and then a lot of vacation,
A lot of vacation, mostly travel.
mostly travel.
Yeah.
Would you bring your own stuff to travel?
How do you mean?
One of my fantasies is to not bring anything with me when I travel. If I had that much money, I would buy all my clothes while I'm there. I would basically first class the whole trip there.
Oh, yeah.
First class the whole way back.
Of course.
I'd buy the thing that allows me to walk straight through the TSA lines. I have to no. I would show up 30 minutes before a flight. I would get on the flight. I would show up to the place. I'd stay there for how long and leave. But I wouldn't bring anything with me. I'd like to buy all my clothes there, all my food there, and then leave whatever is left to charity in some general area in the community somewhere.
I like that
Shirts
plan.
or suits or whatever it is.
I think I would bring my own things.
Okay, you want to bring your own things.
I would.
So do you think that you would get more frustrated having to lug stuff around when you get to that point, or is that something you want to keep as part of your humanity?
I want to keep my life basically the same as it was, just with more freedom of choice.
And a person who knows how to cook Taiwanese food that lives in Seattle when you're not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And takes care of your
And they're
houses.
kind of on demand.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So, you're
Good
keeping-
plan, good plan.
Pretty human. Yeah.
Fairly human, except for the person that I just
How many
called to make
bicycles
food.
would you buy?
I would go the Robin Williams route and have one of the largest bicycle collections. In the world.
Was that one of his things?
Oh yeah.
He was a huge cyclist, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I had no
he
idea.
apparently had one of the largest private collections of bicycles.
So is the Jay Leno of bicycles?
Yes.
he
apparently.
was, and he was friends with the disgraced Lance Armstrong.
I mean,
He
who's
can
not at
bleep
this
that
point?
out. Yeah.
Rubio. Adam McWaters, what would you do with $350 million?
Well, it's,
How long would your beard get with $350 million?
I can do that for free.
And let me make sure the rules are very clear. This is not a conversation about who you would invest with or whatever shit. This is about the pure luxury of having that much money to do something fucking stupid
Well,
or
I
to
could-
do what you've always wanted to
I
do.
could give you the knee-jerk reaction or the Ron Swanson. Which do you want?
Knee-jerk.
Knee-jerk, I buy Robert's Ranch.
Okay. Robert is who?
It's just called Robert's Ranch.
What is that?
It's a ranch. It's about 809 acres of
Okay.
land about 15 minutes southwest of Austin.
Okay.
It's humongous. It's for sale. And I would buy it. I would rename it Hellberg.
Yep.
And I would
Your
start...
dream city, yes.
I know about.
I
Hilbert.
would start endless projects. After, of course, hiring goons who care about shit like that to invest things and kind of get some sort of generation back. And from there,
On the table.
yeah, I already don't have any debts but the house, so yeah.
Sell the house, burn it. Make
And then
Hellberg.
travel
Yeah.
would fit in there somehow, but honestly, I don't want to just travel. I'd like to bring you fuckers. So it would take some organization and skills like that.
That's what that was another part of it. What Ben was saying, what Banjo was saying is like the hard part is like I'd like to go to Australia for a while, but like he's like I love my family, I love my wife, my daughter's okay, but spend a whole month in Australia with just them. Like Ben's the kind of guy that when he can work from home every day for all of his life, he wants to come in the second day afterwards. Every vacation I've ever been with him, he just is dying to then go see some of the, he's a very social butterfly kind of person.
right. And
So
honestly,
it'd be like travel part of it can be pretty difficult when you're like, well, I want to see.
For me, it's like, yeah, bring the family, but bring the family.
Right,
like
right.
it's I like
Tribe.
I like building communities. I like being part of a community,
Hellberg.
and that would be a community. Yes.
Although I find that ironic because you also love anarchy.
I don't.
You're
well,
on
specifically,
record. You're on record.
I didn't say I loved it. You're putting words in my mouth there.
I don't know. We should check the tape on that.
What
one.
I'm saying is,
unfortunately,
I
nothing
don't-
exists before this episode. 2016, no rules.
The simple fact of the matter
Obama
remains,
future. The Trump future, I
While
think.
that is the closest label I think could be applied politically to me, I can't fucking stand anarchists, man. It's like my version of. It's the same reason. My version of hell, like my personal idea of hell,
Other people.
is I die.
Anyone else being there?
No, specifically, I die and I wake up being the manager of a small team of creative people. Like, that sounds horrible to me. Those people are terrible.
So you'd rather work at Arby's for eternity?
I would rather not work is more apropos.
Sure.
I'd have a robot kick out Arby's for me and then never go, just like I don't go to Arby's now.
Yeah. I'm saying anarchy or Arby's.
Anarch Arby's.
Same thing, really. I guess.
Sure.
But no, like there could be fun stuff happen, then we get old and die. Like wonderful. But I want that land in that location,
Yeah.
and I want to do fun shit on it.
So, and for people who don't know who Hellberg is, Hellberg, the original concept was big plot of land. There's got to be a water thing in between all the houses for the people who are living
Robert's Ranch has 3 of them.
Nice. And I think in our conversations, I don't know if you ever agree with me, Adam, that Hellberg also should have basically like the closest spot that Hellberg sits on to a road should have basically a brownstone-like community area with a movie theater and a bunch of condos for our lesser friends.
Yeah, two bars, a small clinic, dentist,
Plebs.
a really good sandwich shop,
Yeah.
a really good Thai place.
I
For
love
Canfield.
like I love for a fact. Corey Davenport's one of my newest friends in town. He's my Ant-Man buddy. I love that guy a lot. I want him to be on the show because I know he has a ton of stories about shitty bar patrons or whatever. But like, I wouldn't want to give him a house. But like, he could definitely rent at a very crazy slow rate
In Hellberg, yeah.
In Hellberg,
Yeah.
to live above a bar that pays him $500,000 a year. You know, like
Right.
or whatever is tenable, I guess. But
Anyway, I do agree with that. I have many other ideas, but the point is, if you don't know what Hellberg is, please don't come.
That is the most Adam thing you could say.
we have there's a really good antique community across the street.
No, again,
Go there.
it's the community you build, and then there's strangers. Like
yeah.
that could work out, or it could not. The point is, at the time of its inception, Hellberg didn't have the fucking time to figure it out.
There's a chunk of Hellberg called Quiet Town, I think is what
Quiet
it's called.
Time.
Quiet Time.
Yes,
yeah.
that's where the houses are.
That's for the older parts of the group who want to be so far away from everyone else, where it's like might as well just be white noise
Right,
machines
that-
between them and the lake.
That's
Like,
that's
there
where
could be.
yeah.
that's where the houses get built. That's where the homes are.
Yeah.
It's called Quiet Time, and if you don't, we stick the dogs on you.
So that's your lottery fantasy.
Well, that's my knee-jerk reaction to the lottery fantasy. The reality,
The Swanson.
the Swanson is I'm a private person and I'm not going to tell you.
Fair enough.
But
And it's none of your goddamn business.
the point is, I really don't know, and I'm not going to win that because I didn't play. Because that shit is a lie.
Excellent. It's
nice.
it's tax for people who are bad at math.
Yeah.
Correct.
Dylan, what would you do with $350 million?
I have a lot of ideas. Some of which have already been discussed. Yes, definitely a couple houses. Seattle, Portland area
Step
would be
one.
one.
Sure. Yeah.
Ruin
Hawaii.
Brandon.
Step 2, lunch.
That's for an after hours.
Yeah. I'm going to edit that out because it's still a really good idea and it's still possible.
Yeah.
Ruin meow. I get it. All right.
Quick sidebar there. A plan to ruin one person's life. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant plan. We have.
I think we really
You
gamed,
should be very proud of that.
we
I'm
really
not going to
the
deny.
gamed that out.
We
Like,
did the game that. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Obviously, house. A few places.
Sure.
Seattle, Portland area.
Sure.
Hawaii, definitely.
Yeah.
Just for shits and giggles. Travel, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think for crazy stuffs with that kind of money, one thing on my list would definitely be to buy the land upon which Dawn sits,
Yes.
so that no condo could ever take over.
Yes.
Oh, that's a
And-
great idea.
And make
yeah.
sure this place stays
Yeah.
unscathed.
Yeah.
Or if I could, just buy the place next to it and tear the fucker down.
Yeah, you can nuke Caesars.
Yeah,
and turn into Don Zeppo, which is a Mike Z version of Don Zeppo,
Yeah,
which
Mike
is
Zeppo, yeah.
there's a pedestrian bridge across
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
Don Zippo.
Yeah,
Zipa.
yeah,
Nice.
that's a Katie Lauer.
But protecting this place would be a good thing.
Yeah.
You're
Then,
gonna play Mike Z there. Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
I think the other big, like, crazy rich thing I would do would be to buy the rights to Serenity and bring that back on the air.
Okay, sure.
Wow.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You have to wrestle that from Fox.
Yeah.
Just so
I have
you know.
$350 million. I think I could probably do it.
Yeah.
It might cost me a lot of that,
You will,
but
yeah.
it'd be worth it.
My
Fox is unfortunately big enough
I
that
still
that
have
is not.
$50 million left for the rest of my life.
That's true. You can take that a long way. Like
take a long way.
as a traditionally poor person, you can do a lot with that money.
My fantasy entails something kind of megalomaniacal that I was talking to Ben about, and I have to really try to figure out how to make it work. But aside from being a serial arsonist with an excellent collection of things, or the best man cave that's the size of an actual bat cave, I would like to actually buy enough property in Austin in spots to then make it so cheap that anyone could live there in order to
De-gentrify.
a
Yes.
neighborhood.
You know what?
Take that, Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring the wolves back. The people, because like what you're trying to push these people who all they want to do is fucking just work near an area that they live or
And
live in an area near
live
they work.
in that area.
Yeah.
That's not really asking too
It's not
much,
too
really,
much,
when
no,
you
it's
think
not.
about it.
Yeah.
No, I like that plan.
A
So
500 square foot tear down place for $450,000 is not a real. It shouldn't be a real
so
thing.
buy every condo in downtown Austin.
Yeah,
And then give them away for $450 a month.
yeah. Worst case
let's do
scenario.
that.
Worst case scenario, you actually like people are very happy to then work and
Get rid of
they-
the Californians. That'd be a good start.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Aside from that, moon base is a pretty good idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Also,
no, well, it's debatable.
I would like to have a room in my house that is entirely made of silly putty.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't entirely know why, but it's always been one of my things. And I owe a girlfriend from high school $70,000 just because of reasons. But yeah, was it 70,000 or 40,000?
70 sounds steep.
It does sound steep, but I can't
Inflation,
remember because I talked to you about this. I
you
can't
are
remember.
shrewd, my friend. Very shrewd.
Well, a Keldorf always pays his debts or whatever. So I promised her a certain amount of money, and I will give that to her. And just because I don't even talk to her anymore. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'll find her.
But hey, you'll feel better about it.
Even with inflation, I would stick with 40.
Okay. I'll do 40.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fine. Canfield spoken.
I know Canfield's a Jewish name. That was Canfeld.
Kenfeld, yeah. Ken Feigl? But yeah, I mean, there's also the travel aspect of it. Like,
I would do a lot of travel. Yeah.
I want to live near Times Square in New York for a year. I want to live.
You get bored of that so fast.
I know. But the best thing about having $350 million is you can pull a ripcord so fast.
Well, they're not in
If
New
you-
York. Because a nice apartment
Oh, what
near
you
Times
do-
Square would cost you $40-50 million. So
Yeah, but
That's
once you
fine.
get that,
That's
once
the
you get
dividends I
that,
made on all my
like
investments,
that's the
though.
big one. Once you get that, all you do is just Airbnb that for super cheap
Sure.
forever.
sell the
And
Donald
just-
Trump.
It's every day. Every day somebody's paying you like a little bit,
A little bit.
like way less than that thing would normally go for. They're having a great
for-
time, and it's just money.
Okay, I like that idea if you do personal interviews. Like you have crazy. So you have
Sure.
a 4,000 square foot penthouse in Times Square. You rent on Airbnb for $50 if I like you.
There was this beautiful thing that happened in Houston.
Assuming,
Yeah.
Chunks of Houston used to be really cheap, but Houston has been growing very fast.
Yes, it
And there was a
has,
chunk, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but there was a guy who had a house that was downtown-ish Houston in a very nice neighborhood, and he was going to sell it for $100 in a raffle.
Okay.
And so the house was probably worth $350 or whatever, and he opened this raffle up to millions of people, and he made this huge amount of money back from it because he raffled off his. So so buy a thing downtown,
Raffle it off.
and raffle the fuck out of it. $1 million a ticket,
Yeah, you could probably pull it off.
Because if a person like me is so stupid to want to spend that much money to just live in a place for a year because I love bodegas, surely there's someone who's that stupid who's going to want to, 40 people is all I need, I guess. And also, a year in Tokyo would be nice, but I should probably wait until all their people die because their birth rate's so low that it's
15, 20 years from now, we're good.
yeah.
You could buy Tokyo at that point,
I don't know, man.
I mean,
or
sure.
at least Hokkaido.
There are loads of places in Asia in general that I think would be really, really cool to visit.
Yeah.
Japan, Hong Kong, China, like
Yeah.
North China, even
Thailand.
Thailand.
And Canfield wants to bring Thailand to him.
Actually, you could probably buy all of Thailand for that kind of money.
I could probably buy Detroit.
Yeah, well, yeah, like 15, 20. I think we could, right now, if we put our money in our pockets, we could probably buy Detroit.
I don't know. The wolves don't take beads. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. No, take the shot. Take the shot. Yeah, yeah.
Jeez.
God,
I
follow
don't
the
know.
rules, Canfield.
I think I had some cheese and some bologna somewhere I can throw at.
They just need bread, man. Bread and steel.
Wolves? No carbs.
They'll eat anything.
Wrong soup shoot.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention I also want a Dodge Dart,
Yes,
a vintage.
you'll be
Dodge.
remiss.
Well, I mean,
There's a
I also want to build a brand new working version of the Mach 5 from Speed Racer.
oh yes.
Because
let's
not,
all.
not only is it a beautiful car, but also I wanted to jump over cars. So I'm sorry.
Yes, we have to do that.
Yes. It shouldn't be that hard,
It's not going to go well.
If you have that much money, you can do it.
So you know.
but I'm willing to try.
That's
With
right.
$350 million, I'll be plucky enough.
Bootstraps, sir. Bootstraps.
What would you do with $350 million if you have an answer? 412-440-7468. You can leave a message or you can actually text us. That's 412-440-SHOT. That is a phone number where you can leave a voicemail and we'll play it on the air. And you can things and questions at Drunkcast Live if you have an answer as well. Or if you think our answers are fucking stupid. Please let us know.
If you have won $350 million, there's a donate button on our website.
That's true. That's true.
Please feel free to share.
Bring it up.
If you happen to have that and you're really bored with it, just want nothing else to do with it, we'll take that burden for you.
Yeah.
Let's take another break and we'll come back and do toast and we'll be out.
Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break like.
The best thing about Little Caesars pizza, though, it tastes better after it's been microwaved.
Do what I feel and what a nice mood. A bam boom rock. We're here to rock you. It's like damn what a vibe. Woo. I got my old soul shoes.
Back. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Hey!
Segment 4, the Fighting Four.
Fighting for.
Fantastic Four.
Let us.
Still hanging out with Dylan, of course, still hanging out with Adam. Still hanging out with
Other
Dylan
Dylan.
Canfield.
Two Dylans agree.
Billy.com is what you are known in certain circles.
I have a
My
question.
moniker, yeah.
On my phone, you are
Billy.com.
Billy.com.
.com. Yeah.
Dead cam.
On my phone, you're listed as Other Dylan.
Yes.
And am I the
Which-
same?
Which we did independently of each other.
But we did the same thing.
We
Which is
did the
very
exact
cute.
same thing.
Aw.
And
You guys are really
unfortunately, we had to use Facebook as our medium to exchange phone numbers. But
That
it
is
worked.
unfortunate.
It worked.
The modern age.
Now the NSA has it.
Yeah.
They've always had it the whole time.
I know.
Oprah
Now that-
gave it to them.
Now they have it twice.
Someone on Reddit.
That is an excellent conspiracy theory.
There's a shower
Oprah
thought.
gave it to him.
There's a shower thought that if Oprah was a poor person, she would just be the person who liked everything on Facebook. Who's like, I should share this with all my friends because it's my book club. Like,
Ah, okay.
but because she's rich, like everyone, whatever. Anyway, so this is the fourth segment. This
We're
is
doing
when
shots.
We have the opportunity to talk about things that we didn't cover.
Oh, what did we? Oh, there. Greg Abbott, our beloved governor,
Rides
is
again.
ridiculous. Yeah,
You're right.
Rides
Upon his pale horse.
upon his pale wheelchair.
He wants to change the United
Constitution.
States, the United
Yes.
States Constitution, not the Texas Constitution.
The United States Constitution.
Which he still couldn't even do if he wanted to do. He couldn't even change his own fucking
Well, no. His precedent was accurate. If 2/3 of the states agree to have a constitutional Congress, they can a constitutional convention. That part was right. Well, the 9 proposed amendments he made, none of them made any goddamn sense.
Yeah, at all.
They do in the context of saying your state can invalidate any federal law at any time for any reason.
Yes. But I
Delusion, thy name
But
is
I was
Abbott.
looking at these things, and like the first one made a little bit of sense. The rest were like, give me one example to prove your argument, please. Please give me one example because I can't think of anything because your idea is so weird.
Because there aren't any.
The picture I saw of Abbott was with his fingers in his ears.
La,
You might as well
la,
say
la,
la la
la,
la
la,
la.
la.
Yeah. So I'm so glad he's our governor.
I didn't vote for
Yeah,
him.
wonderful.
Yeah.
I miss you, Wendy Davis.
Everyone does.
You would have been better.
yeah.
I-
You could have
So-
done worse.
Who knows? She had pink sneakers. That's like not necessarily what I want to.
Yeah. Well,
No,
we have
for-
like another.
She had pink sneakers and is probably not trying to undo the U.S. Constitution.
Yeah.
But in a couple weeks, I believe our abortion case goes in front of the Supreme Court. Oh yeah, that was one of the things on his list. He wanted a special secret court of 7 people to monitor and be able to overthrow the Supreme Court.
Correct. Yes. He wanted a
yes.
Supreme Court.
Yes.
Well, if anything else, also he also wanted the states to be able to overturn in general, not even just the 7. This cabal of his super friends.
Ignore rules that did not apply.
They're all plugged
to every
in
other
with
state.
weird
Yeah.
fluids running through them.
But yeah. Oh hey, so
gays are a pox.
So Texas, as of
God
January
damn
1st, it is if you have a concealed carry license, you're now legally allowed to open carry.
Yes.
Right.
So literally, we've gone full gunslinger. Has anyone here seen an open gun yet?
Not a single
I
one.
have not gone to any place except for Burger King since that's happened.
But we're
And,
also in Austin, so
Yeah. Well,
we're in Austin.
We know people.
what do they call them? They call them
Patriots?
amosexual. Patriots.
Thank you, Dylan.
Amosexuals is what I've been hearing.
Ammosexuals,
Persons who want to
bulletkin.
who don't understand that it can be really weird if you look up and see a bunch of AR-15s walk into again a Burger King or a Starbucks because you want to show it's one fedora away from being the fucking laziest or weirdest fucking thing that can happen right now.
Yeah.
But it's the law, fine. No, so there was an article that I think I
Texas,
shared.
yeah.
There was an article from someone that was in North Carolina. The article was from a college professor who said, "Here's how you handle it. If you're if you're in a place where if someone walks in, I know it doesn't make sense, but it's interesting.
It does. As protest, it certainly does.
When you are in a place, you're eating your bagel or whatever, and some persons who are super open carry walk into your place, the best way to handle it is for everyone who's done open carrying to stand up and walk out.
Including not paying your check.
Do not pay your check.
Just leave.
And you tell the patrons or the business, and you say, "Hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was scared for my life."
Yes.
They should take the tab because they obviously care so much.
Yeah.
There's a conversation that I was having about Banjo again. Banjo was talking about, like, if you're in a spot where you see these guys walk in,
work together.
what do you do? You know? What would you do if you were a person who walked into McDonald's and wanted to shoot the place up and you see 2 guys walk in with guns?
You probably shoot first
Would you shoot those? You shoot those people first, right?
because you think they're going to hurt you.
Well, my thought
and
is,
guns.
thought is, you don't shoot those guys unless you can kill them both immediately, because those guys definitely want to shoot people more than you want to kill people in McDonald's. Those guys are ready. The reason why they show up in their thing so they can be like, check out my gun, I'm so fucking cool.
Because they want to be shot by a cop.
And some circles say it's because they want to kill
Assuming
black
they're
people,
brown.
which is kind of an extension of maybe the truth. I don't know.
Well, there's already been, like, experiments that have occurred in places where, like, white guy open carrying a fucking AR-15 or whatever.
Black
Slung.
guy illegally.
Wandering
Not even
down.
open carry, like slung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
like he's a fucking outlaw, a
Yeah.
mercenary who's just like
in Texas, that is now legal.
And-
like he's
and-
hoping
and
someone will be
nothing.
like, "Hey, are you part of the A team? I'm so glad I found you."
Yeah,
Like,
because I have a problem. Like, and,
what are your daily rates?
my lucky day.
and then it was, and then step 2 was, the black guy rolling around open carrying, slinging the AR-15. He was immediately on the ground
Yeah.
and like down in the belly, throw the gun away, blah blah blah. Guns in his face, arrested. Yeah, that's the point.
I read this
America.
within the last month or so. There was an article about there's a 57-year-old black gentleman, an African American gentleman who walked into Walmart because he had to do some stuff, but he was a concealed carry guy. He wasn't an open carry; he was a concealed carry guy. And some 20 years his junior white dude saw his pistol, and walked into the Walmart and knocked him on the ground and choked him. And other people, like
That's called assault.
2 more white guys came out.
We
and,
do have a name for
and
that.
grabbed
Yes.
him and helped him hold this guy down until the cops showed
It's called
up.
aggravated assault.
So the main guy got arrested.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to me, it was really strange because it's not even really racist. Because at the point that you're 57, you're not assuming he's going to shoot anyone up. You should just be asking him for advice. Because at that point,
he's a wise old black
Because he's a
man.
wise old black man. So it's not even
So
racist.
Morgan
It's-
Freeman walks into a Walmart with a concealed pistol.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
And you say,
Yes.
"What should I buy today?" Yeah. Then you say, "Not today." It was really surprising too because it was just this guy who was being really aggravated, or who was aggravated by a person who was carrying, and then it was a racist thing. It's like, nah, it's not even a racist thing. That guy just really wanted to tackle that dude.
You're such an idiot.
Like, yeah. And the California law, right?
What's the California thing?
They're pushing a law that allows any citizen arrest of a person's firearm once it's yeah. And I don't know how far that's going to get, but California is also this weird spot where it's like, if Texas is always embarrassing Texans, like it always is.
California's the opposite of Texas. Yeah.
California's the opposite.
But also the same, yeah.
But as liberals, it's very embarrassing because it's like, we want these things. It's like, well, look at California and say, like, but California, like, can we ignore them for a second? Like,
Finally, maybe.
yeah.
California.
It's so frustrating.
California.
So what else did we have in the news?
Yeah, what?
Screech is going to jail or is already in jail. That's like 2 weeks ago news.
Dustin Diamond what?
He went to jail.
For what?
For that knife thing from like last year.
It took that long to put Dustin Diamond.
Yeah, man, you have no idea.
It's the American legal system. A white guy with a fro.
Trust that, though. Trust that, Justice.
All right, so now it's a mental exercise. How much money do you think he has? Is that enough to be able to do whatever you want?
Well, he does not have enough to
I don't
not
think
go
he
to
has much
prison.
money.
To not go to prison.
He has like a 30-day sentence in jail.
I
So
think
now I'm revoking all of your wishes when it comes to Lotto.
What would you do?
What would you do?
I'll go to jail for anything that I do.
What would you do with $350 million? Never go to jail is what it sounds like.
Oh well, yeah. That's
Ever.
if you already have that much money, you never go to jail.
I'm going to be
Ask any banker.
a serial klepto. You know,
Yeah.
Well, arsonist actually.
You already mentioned arsonist.
Canfield knows.
Yeah.
Like that's what I really want to do.
I
where
would
your
have
heart
all
is.
my licenses revoked at some point if I won that amount of money.
Let's call
because
Steve Jobs.
the pile of
Yeah.
speeding tickets would
Against Steve
would
Jobs.
be outrageous.
Sure. Only speed when it's like a thunderstorm. There's an old good.
And there's orphans crossing the road.
I was chasing that storm.
You were chasing waterfalls.
Don't do that. I've been telling you for years.
But when you have that much money, you can't afford to do it.
You can. It's still bad advice.
But don't have any scrubs in the car with you.
I believe the children are our future.
Okay. So, any other crazy stuff that happened this week? I don't know. What happened? You made me think. I'm not going to mention the T word.
I don't know what the T word is actually.
Trump.
Sure. There was a woman who walked into a Trump rally dressed in a Habib, I think,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
in order to show that they're not dangerous persons.
Yeah, she's a Muslim.
And she was escorted out because the crowd got so fucking rowdy. That's fun.
America. I have an ironic thingy. News article over today. With Star Wars recently becoming the biggest box office smash ever in the history of movies.
Ever?
Yes, it crossed Avatar like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
For North American sales and obviously beyond that. There are like 3 black men in the top like 6 most bankable box office stars. Sam Jackson is 1.
Of course.
Actually, after Harrison Ford, he's number 2. But he was number 1 until this.
Sure.
Because of the Star Wars.
Well, he was the highest paid. He's still the highest paid.
No, I'm talking about bank lot. So movies in which he's appeared, they've made X dollars box office.
The
gross.
movie itself,
Yeah.
not him. Okay.
Yeah. Harrison Ford's number 1, Sam Jackson number 2. I'm not sure where on the list this falls, but the next ones are Morgan Freeman and Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy still.
Yeah, so in the top 5 most bankable actors, black men. Think about that, America.
Well, I guess the devil's advocate would be like, there's only 6.
I saw Best Defense. I mean,
Oh yeah.
obviously that man deserves money.
Which one is that? Is that an Eddie Murphy movie or?
It
you
is
don't
a
know.
travesty of a movie.
So after Beverly Hills Cop,
It's no Bowfinger,
no,
right?
hold
I
on,
mean,
no. After Beverly Hills Cop, Trading Places. After Trading Places,
Yes.
before Beverly Hills Cop.
He had already made it big.
Yeah. So after Trading Places, and then after Arthur,
Okay.
you tag team Arthur and Eddie Murphy into
Dudley
Moore into a movie about fighting the military-industrial complex,
Okay.
and it's a comedy.
Oh, I mean, well,
Look it up, people.
A comedy of errors.
Yeah, but
ouch.
So not funny, haha.
1983 funny.
man.
So much cocaine back then. So much cocaine.
Not enough, apparently. The problem with the 80s is that they didn't give enough coke to the writers and too much coke to the actors. You gotta let those guys... The actors...
Like the Force, there must be a balance.
You were the chosen one. You were supposed to bring Chinese to all of us. Insane. So we have shots in front of us.
Yes, let's drink these.
Let's do a toast to...
Wrong cocaine algorithms.
Yes, yes.
That should be a white card in Christmas Humanity for sure. Cheers, guys.
Woo!
Ah, man. Good episode of the show, everyone. Everyone.
Hey, Travis.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren.
You know what? You're right. You know. It's gonna go.
Does that count?
Yeah, it works.
We'll Parker Rubio.
Man. That Rubio edit was excellent. If you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to the episode. Last episode was excellent. Adam McWaters, thanks so much for coming and hanging out with us.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, buddy.
It's a close one.
Dylan Campbell, thanks so much for coming and hanging out with us.
having me.
Of course, every time. You spoke
Dylan.
50% more than you did last time. Or no, 200% more. And that's
Actually, I spoke a lot more last time, but the focus was on bike messengering.
that was interesting.
No, sir. No, we did the math.
Oh,
You
okay.
tasked us. You paid us money.
Was it that same cocaine math? or-
Yes, he was. Good. C is quiet until he's not telling me quiet.
Yeah,
It is. But that's a different contract. That's not, you don't need to be concerned with that.
Oh yeah, Adam, do you want to plug anything?
Sherwood Forest coming up. It's fun.
Yeah.
Fucking drink and be nerdy. Wonderful.
Would you extend that to anyone who wants to go to any Ren Fair that's close to them?
I would.
Yeah.
I would.
Check it out if you've never done it before.
Did they have Ren fairs in England?
Yes.
Where they invented all of that?
Probably.
They were originally invented in France.
So they leave the
oh,
house
oh.
like business as normal for Ren Fair and
Dressed
England?
slightly differently, a lot of them.
I'm gonna put
Some not
something
so
more
much.
comfortable.
Like, nothing better than being at the Ren Fair dressed like you are and seeing the dude in the NASCAR shirt pushing the stroller.
Drinking a Budweiser.
Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're fun anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
The point
It's
is
worth checking out. Yeah.
fun.
So,
Dylan Canfield, is there anything you want to plug? Anything you've seen recently that you like, and you're like, everyone should watch this?
I am very excited about Deadpool, and despite my big words, participation, not precipitation.
Sure.
how moist
But
are you?
really
in
not
the
either.
comic book conversation, that trailer looks amazing.
Yeah.
And
Does it?
I
Yeah, it
am-
does, yeah.
I am beyond excited.
Right down Main Street.
Really?
Yeah.
Deadpool.
That is
Have you
exceedingly interesting.
Good
to
choice.
me.
Good choice.
I think it's probably along the lines of Guardians, where even though I had zero history with that storyline, brilliant movie.
I'm with you on that one. I think
Did you read the thing? Ryan Reynolds had an interview where he played the character from Blade Trinity, which is basically an iPod commercial.
Yeah.
Fine. But his character was like so
Hannibal
much...
King.
Hannibal King was so Deadpool that a producer on that movie who loved Deadpool showed up and went to Ryan Reynolds with a box of comics, of Deadpool comics, and said, "You were born to do this. Read these."
Oh, if that's how it goes, yes, sign me up.
And that's the reason why he's been so obsessed with trying to make this fucking film, and I hope it works out.
I agree.
Dylan, anything you want to plug? Or
I do.
any-
I've seen two great movies.
Yeah.
One actually has Ryan Reynolds in it.
Okay.
A really weird black comedy called The Voices,
Yep.
where he plays a serial killer. Yeah. It's excellent. It's so dark and twisted. It's beautiful. It's really good stuff. The other one was called I might get this name wrong. Things We Do in the Shadows.
Yes.
You know this, starring
Yes.
Jermaine Clement.
Yes.
Huey Lewis and News, you
You know this. Jermaine Clement from Flight Concords.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's a mockumentary about vampires living in New Zealand.
who live in one flat.
Yeah, living
or-
in one flat. Yeah.
yeah.
It's hysterical. It's so just wrong and stupid.
Okay.
I love it. But the Ryan Reynolds movie is awesome. The Voices, check it out. Yeah.
Well, thank you all for coming and hanging out with us, and everyone who's listening to the show. If you want to know more about the show, you can go to drunkcastlive.com. You go to facebook.com/drunkcastlive. It's facebook.com/drunkcastlive. It's at drunkcastlive on Twitter. There's so many different
Are we on
podcast
Pinterest yet?
universes. I mean, like, I can make a Pinterest
Are
page.
we middle-aged housewives? Can we do that?
Why would we ever be on Pinterest?
Well, I mean, it's gender dysfunctional. Is it? That's the word we use, right? Yes, we're on the iTunes store. We're not the Zune store. The iTunes store.
Stitcher?
Fun thing about the iTunes store is if you go and leave a comment, it actually will boost us far enough that people that might actually see us on perhaps your favorite podcast app. Or you can go to the Google Play Store eventually, or you can go to Stitcher. You can find us on Stitcher. We are well versed in all the places where you can consume this kind of media, and we're ready for you to consume our media.
Please consume me.
Consume it.
Yeah.
Yes. We're on Instagram and Drunkcast Live Pics, I think. Haven't updated it in a long time because our pictures are so dirty.
Yeah, it's just always us.
Yeah.
And no one wants to see
No
that.
one wants to see that. And then someday our YouTube channel will come back up because no one wants to see us.
You're welcome.
We're trying soon. Maybe next week.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Questions at drunkcastlive.com. It's questions at drunkcastlive.com. Or you can 412-440-7468 or 412-440-SHOT. If you like those numbers and you like your voice, you can leave a voicemail or text us and you can say whatever the fuck you like about whatever we've done right or wrong.
For the record, you can do this if you don't like your voice as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why you text. Yeah. That's why we love Kubo from Chicago.
Hell yeah!
I still owe him koozies.
Yes, we ship those as quickly as we
They
can.
will be shipped.
Yeah.
You will get Kubo. You will get koozies.
Yeah. He's been rad. He's been very transparent about how he found us. And if he wants to come visit us, fuck it. Yeah, we'll buy all his drinks.
Well, we're not going to fucking Minnesota this winter.
You got a Bitcoin address?
Michigan. Yeah, the Michigan. Yeah.
Same thing in winter.
Sure. Find some wolves to take you to the nearest airport. Pay for the ticket.
We can ride the wolves right from
Yeah.
Sport Airport. Yeah.
But I think that's it. We love you very much.
We do.
And remember to podcast responsibly. We'll see you next week.
Lesbian zone, you get him up down. Champion zone, you get him up down. Champion zone, you get him up down. We come to let you know what the deal is.
I try food.
Yes, you have tried food. You're 7 now.
I witnessed it.